if you're the one everyone relies on, if you never drop the ball, if you're the strong one in every room, and lately you feel flat, tired, disconnected, even though you're still performing. This might not be a productivity problem, it might be survival. Burnout isn't a time management issue. It's not weakness, it's not a lack of discipline. Burnout is what happens when your nervous system has been mobilized for too long, while your identity is built on being the strong one. Hi, I'm Anya Tsai. I'm an author and speaker. My work focuses on nervous system regulation, inner safety, and long-term resilience. And I'm not speaking about burnout as theory. I lived it. There was a period in my life when I was functioning at a very high level externally. I was building, speaking, holding responsibility, creating. From the outside, I looked strong. Inside, I was in survival. I didn't call it burnout. I call it commitment. I call it resilience. I called it leadership. But my body knew. And I will tell you how I finally understood it. At first, it was pain in my shoulder. I ignored it. I didn't listen to the whispers of my body. A few weeks later, it was chronic pain. Day and night, it woke me up, and I couldn't rotate my arm anymore. It wasn't tendinitis anymore. It had become a severe frozen shoulder, and painkillers didn't work. Steroid injection didn't work either. The doctor told me something I didn't want to hear. He said, "Your body is in burnout." I didn't believe him. I said, "No, doctor, I'm fine. I just have shoulder pain." I was still working, still showing up, still performing. I was in denial. I couldn't see it yet. A few days later, I got COVID. And that's when my body stopped negotiating. The pain spread everywhere. I was in bed, I couldn't move, and lying there, unable to push through, unable to perform, I had one thought. Maybe the doctor is right. Maybe this isn't just my shoulder. Maybe this is burnout. I had been running on survival for so long that stopping felt more dangerous than pain. That's when I realized something fundamental. Burnout is not about working too much. It's about chronic activation. So let's look at that through a nervous system lens. Burnout is a physiological state. Chronic sympathetic activation. Fight, solve, respond, hold, decide. When that becomes constant, your body stops experiencing leadership as purpose. It experiences as danger. And here's the deeper layer. Many high performers carry survival-shaped patterns. You don't need to identify as traumatized for your nervous system to have been shaped by early responsibility, pressure, unpredictability, or emotional intensity. If your nervous system learned that performance equals safety, you may build your leadership on survival physiology. And that works, until it doesn't. Now let's talk about the identity trap. Many leaders unconsciously learned being competent keeps me safe. Being needed makes me valuable. Being strong prevents collapse. So slowing down doesn't just feel uncomfortable, it feels unsafe. When I began recovering, the hardest part wasn't the physical pain. It was identity. If I'm not performing, who am I? And that identity question is rarely addressed in leadership spaces. But it's central to burnout. Now let's zoom out. Burnout is not just individual. It is civilizational. We built a culture that rewards chronic activation. 24/7 access, immediate replies, constant stimulation, performance culture, optimization, obsession. There are no natural recovery cycles, but your nervous system needs rhythm. Effort, rest. Effort, rest. And that means mobilization and recovery. Mobilization, recovery. Modern leadership often removes recovery entirely. And then we blame individual for collapsing. Burnout isn't a personal defect. It's a biological signal. When I burned out, I didn't explode. I flattened. Reduced joy, emotional distance, decision fatigue, irritability, disconnection, lack of clarity, inflammation and pain. The most dangerous burnout is the one that still looks functional. It took me nearly 2 years to rebuild inner safety. Not 2 years of vacation, 2 years of learning how to regulate and build capacity. How to pause. How to stop living in constant mobilization. Recovery is not about quitting everything. It's about nervous system literacy. Ask yourself, am I regulated right now? Am I collapsed, dysregulated, or am I regulated? Regulation is not calmness. It is flexibility. Can I return to safety after stress or activation? That is leadership capacity. And I tell you something fundamental. Regulated leaders create regulated environments. These regulated leaders transmit pressure, even if it's not intentional. Here are principles I now live by. Schedule recovery as seriously as strategy. Build a relationship where you are not the strong one. Insert micro pauses before major decisions. Stop glorifying urgency. Learn to read your body before it forces you to stop. These are not hacks. They are repetitions. Like scales for a musician. Small daily practice builds long-term capacity. In conclusion, burnout is not weakness. It is what happens when strength has been powered by survival for too long. And that's the key. The future of leadership will not belong to the most activated. It will belong to the most regulated. If this resonates with you, tell me in the comments. Have you experienced burnout? What did burnout cost you? And if you want to explore nervous system regulation, inner safety, and a model of leadership that does not require self-destruction to prove its worth, subscribe to my newsletter. The link is below. We are building something deeper here, not performance, embodied presence. Thank you for being here and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.